And as always, we're joined by the head coach of the New York Giants, Joe Judge. And Coach, we're going to start things off with special teams this week. I know you've been talking about the last couple weeks of needing to make some plays on special teams, and you got a 48-yard kickoff return from Dion Lewis on the very first play of the game.
Yeah, so we had to establish some field position in this game. It was something we really had to make an improvement on from last week as a team, is getting field position, maintaining it, and then capitalize on it. Now, here's a shot right here, and it's going to be a boundary return. So we're anticipating with Cody's kick pattern right here that we're seeing at the offset. I'll go ahead and talk about this right here. Is when you watch kickers walk off right here, it's really an interesting way of you knowing where the ball's going to go. And when you watch the kicker walk off, all kickers work in 90-degree triangles. And what you're looking for is, as he walks back right here and offsets at the top and then walks flat over, what you're looking for is really that tighter alignment. So as Cody walks over right here, he's truly lined up to hit this thing down the middle. And with his natural draw, he'll pull it a little bit more to our right. What we're looking for as a key to take us to the next return is if he were to do something like line up a little bit more over here at the top of the stem and then walk down. And that triangle would line up at that point to kick it opposite, and Dion would know he's got to track it to the other side of the field. The thing is, there's 53 1/3 yards going across horizontally. You want to make sure that you can limit part of that pre-kick for your returner, not to have to cover all of it and let him play ahead on the play. All right, all that being said, we're watching for Cody to kick this ball somewhere on the right side of the field. And we're going to have a boundary return call to just bring this thing vertical in the teeth of their coverage. And we're going to look to go ahead and get two double teams on the front side on the 3 and the 4, single block the 5 on the front side, and then create a backside wall right here and just flush all their coverage around it. And what we're looking to do is kick out from the back end on the 2 and the 1 climbing on down here. And that's the seam we're looking to hit right there with Dion. The guys do a nice job right here. It all comes together like we planned to, and you can see the different techniques in it. So again, the ball with his natural draw brings him right over into the alley. And the alley for us, the area between the hash and the numbers right there. So we talk about that ball being in the alley. That helps these guys on their drop landmarks of knowing the angles that the coverage is going to take to go ahead and adjust their leverage as well. Now we'll start with the double team outside. We're going to see it right here. This is Tay, all right, and Carter, and they're going to double team on the 3 right here, right? Taki. And he's a good player, he's a physical player, and he does a good job of his right here. We kind of lose leverage the initial pop right here with Tay. He works to get back outside, and Carter does a nice job seeing that Tay misses that outside. He gets back out and he captures the outside shoulder. Now both guys work to combo it, and our rule on double teams is simple. You can put him inside, you can put him outside, but he cannot occupy that lane right there where he's trying to go ahead and run down and fill that space. So they react here, they wash him wide, they open up that lane for us there. As we go back to the other double team right here on the 4, you see the cross-face leverage here from our center, and then our end working up at the piece right there. We're going to get the double team on the 4, and we really want to keep him inside. All right, if he worked hard outside, we could wash him out as well, but we really want to keep this guy inside. And the reason being is this backside wall, as you get it assembled right here, really wants to use this double team to make sure they can't fold over the top and get in the run lane. So if we can establish this double and keep him inside, that helps all these blocks on the backside just play patiently with their leverage and force the runarounds here backside as we're running away from it. It's a good job here, all right, by Cam working and moving his feet. All right, Devontae does a good job. They capture him. And then you see Nate Ebner right here as the first piece over for that front side 5. And this is a much tougher block than you may think with the angle he has. Nate does a good job throwing his shoulder in him, stepping into contact, and then after the initial thump, moving his feet, washing them by, and that's a key block right there of getting the runner to the run lane. You see backside right here, it's a zone concept, so you got Mayo, Penny, and Joe Webb right here, and they're doing a good job on the backside guys of getting them clumped up and keeping them backside. Penny will go ahead and react in a second and take the one guy trying to fold over the top here and gets just enough of them to keep him from creasing off on Dion. Now going to the back end right here, and we're going to watch Levine right here with a key block. Now the 2's going to come down the field, and his responsibility is to set the edge. What we can't allow to happen is, as we run this, we can't let him to squeeze on down there and set the edge tight enough that this runner has no space to get through. So as they're squeezing from the backside, we need to create that room to the front side so Dion can cut away from the traffic and get vertical into space. Levine does a nice job of meeting him early. He holds some width. You can see the space from the double team and the backside wall. And then here comes Nico Lalis, the rookie right here. Has been playing well for us the last few weeks. And he's going to come up right here on the 1. And it's going to be him one-on-one right here, and does a really nice job of not stopping his feet, stepping into contact, and really creating a big hit right there to knock him off his feet. And then Dion does a really nice job right here, running through the arm tackle and then just extending the run with good effort. All right, getting all the way across the 50 right there and giving us good field position to start the drive off. A lot of excitement on the sideline. Help the offense get out there, get started fast, and get down the red zone to start the game.
Dexter Lawrence had himself, Coach, a very nice football game. He made his presence felt a lot in the game. He batted down that 4th down attempt early in the football game, and he comes up with a big sack early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, so Dex definitely had a big game for us. He had our 1 sack in the game. He was a pressure force and did a great job in the run game. It's a good example right here, though, that, one person has success. It's really tied together with all 11 right here. So this was a situation by the tendency of who they had in the game and the formation alignment they had. We knew it was more of 2 3rd down spots. So they were looking to get 12 yards, all right, on each play. If they didn't get it on 2nd down, they'd go back again on 3rd down. Now, defensively, what we're doing right here is we're playing a version of 2-man. What 2-man is 2 deep safeties over the top and man underneath. And you're working inside leverage man defense with a low hip, meaning you want to play low on a receiver because your help's over top. So you're taking away the underneath throws and the high safety taking away the over top throws. All right, now the coverage is going to tie in really well to the rush technique that we'll talk about on the back end. But it's a good shot here when the ball turns over of getting in the spots we have to be at. And really you're just talking about the 2 deep safeties first, and they're really playing their landmarks. So if you got half field responsibility, your landmark is really that alley we just talked about a second ago with Dion on kick return. It's that area between that hash and the numbers. You just want to go ahead and split it right down there on your divider and make sure you can cover your half of the field to the sideline if a deep throw occurs right there. Now underneath, we talk about that low hip relationship, and it's a good job right here you see across the board in that low relationship, all right, because you got deep help safeties over top. Now, it's a good job right here by Xavier McKinney in here on Landry, and obviously he's their top receiver. Zay does a good job here of, even though he's getting sold high right away, of throttling down and working to that low hip position on Landry, that as he tries to cross his face, because in this defense, the open zone is the middle of the field. You've got to play inside leverage to push him to where your help is high and outside. All right, Zay does a good job here throttling down as Landry goes to break inside of taking away that window to cross his face. You see we got low hip help right here with over top help on both sides here to take it away. And that's really a key coverage spot right there. And you can see Baker's looking right here. He's looking at Landry. He's covered. He's looking here as well. And he's got the help over top. And that deters him and forces him to hold the ball right there. Now, underneath with the coverage, we're going to work a little bit of combination here with Carter Coughlin and Blake Martinez. So Blake's got the back, but it's going to be a good job right here of Carter with the back out his way of giving a little help and just slowing down the back with Hunt getting out of the backfield. And that buys some time for Blake to overtake it. And then Carter will add back in for force secondary in case Baker rolls out, which he does, to help on right there. So again, because of the coverage on the back end, that allowed the front to get home right there and put some pressure on the quarterback and flush him out of the pocket. Now, when it comes to the front, just talking about the rush technique, all right, we'll focus inside. Here's a set right here. You watch Leo on the edge. This is going to be one right here where they're looking to get a little bit of contact on Leo here with the tight end, and we call it chipping, really giving help for the tackle in the block. And they're going to thump him first. Leo does a good job of playing through it and then rallying to get to the ball. But we're going to focus on Dex right here. And again, just his base rush technique. And we're talking about, we always want to talk about rushing half a man. We don't want to go thick down the blocker and give him more of a body surface. We want to make sure we get on his edge and play through a half of them, inside half or outside half. On this instance here, it's going to be Dex on his outside half. And we want to work to keep our outside arm and outside leg free. And Dex does a nice job here. See, the first thing he does right here is works the pin, all right, the guard's outside arm to stop him from getting his arm around him right there. He gets to the edge, there's a rip right there, and you see the guard's looking to move his feet. He's got his arm bar across Dex's chest, trying to hold him and restrict him and pull him on back. Now, Dex has gotten even with his hips, so he automatically has the advantage at this point right here. We just got to make sure we don't run by the quarterback and allow Mayfield to run forward. So we want to get level with them and then flatten out to make the pursuit or fold back. Now, this is a good shot right here of how Dex is going to counter. So as he pushes up the field, you see the guard with the high arm, and Dex has that rip with that arm underneath. What he does a nice job on the counter here is he's just going to drop this arm. When he drops his inside arm where he's being restricted, that kind of gives that dead inside shoulder and less of a surface for them to grab and restrict them. And as soon as he does that right here, it separates him from the guard. He's now through the edge of the center, all right, who's come over to give some help. But at this point, it's too late. And this is just good pursuit and hustle. And he's a tough man to block. Dex does a good job in pursuit, making the tackle. And then the next part of it is right here. He gets him going to the ground. Now there's whistles already, but the ball's on the ground. Here's the thing you got to remember in the NFL. If it's a clear recovery, even after the whistle, it can be overturned and go to the team who recovers it. So even though there's whistles right now declaring it's down, we don't want to play through the whistle. We want to play through possession of the ball.
Now we go to the offensive side of the football, and Coach, You know, one of the things that your team did, especially in the first half, was run the football effectively. Then the score got a certain way, and you had to throw it a little bit more. But in the fourth quarter, you were still able to use your run game to kind of keep your offense on balance.
Yeah, so absolutely. So this is the start of the fourth quarter really for us right here. It's a 17-point game. It's a 3-score game. We knew we had to go ahead and press it. We had to work faster, and we had to get points on the board, but we didn't want to abandon and run all the way. We said to make sure that when we had runs, we made the most of them and looked to get some explosive plays down the field. When you watch from the side, what you see right here is just Alfred getting the space, good 14-yard run, nice play, getting us closer to midfield, and we can go ahead and step on the gas. What you miss a lot of the details on is really what shows up in the back view right here. And this is just really a nice shot right here of working a gap scheme. When we talk about gap scheme, there's zone schemes and gap schemes. And zone schemes are just the concept of all the linemen really stepping and working together, all right, almost like elephants on parade. And they're going to work and just go ahead and make sure they overtake blocks and keep working the second level. And eventually, there's going to be some kind of a press and a cutoff when a gap appears. Sometimes it goes out the front side. Sometimes it bends all the way back out the back side. But that's a zone scheme. A gap scheme is more geared towards some kind of down block and pull around and a kick out where you're trying to truly create one established gap in the defense where you're looking to go ahead and attack and get vertical. This would be one of those gap schemes here. We're going to talk with blocking down as well as some of the pull schemes and wraparound. And it's a good shot right here. This is our 13 personnel, so there's 1 back and there's 3 tight ends, 1, 2, and 3. And this is normally a heavy run first personnel group across the league, although we pass a good bit out of our 13 as well. All right, so we're going to watch this play right here. And the first thing I want to point out is really just the point of attack. So the ball's coming right here. We're going to run, all right, outside the down blocks, but inside the pull. So we're going to watch right here with Andrew and Shane. And the first thing they're going to have to do is they're going to be responsible for these 2 guys right here. So Andrew's going to help right here with the down block on Shane to knock his man over and allow Shane to get hat placement on this side of the defender and keep his body between him and where the ball's going. Now, because of the counter steps, see Alfred step over, a lot of times a linebacker may follow the steps and fill it. Now we get Andrew a chance to go ahead and climb and create more of that human wall. In this instance right here, though, Taki does a good job of reading this out instinctively, and he works opposite to the outside. It's really an athletic and nice play by Andrew of knocking the man over with the double team technique and then climbing off and just taking him where he's going. It's a good position to ride him by and create that seam right there. Now, the next point's going to be the pullers. So we're going to watch Zeitler and Caden on the pulls. Now, Evan's going to influence and just kind of arc and flash right here. He's going to bluff and then climb to the second level. And that's going to let Myles Garrett come up the field, all right, for Kevin to pull around and kick him out. You've got the down block here by Shane. You've got the block up to the second level by Andrew. And then Caden's going to wrap around for the Mike linebacker and pin him in inside so Alfred can run the thing right off that seam right there. And it's going to be a good shot here. Again, you see Evan kind of freezes Myles' feet for half a second. He climbs on up right there. Here comes Kevin around right here on the pole. He does a nice job of adjusting in space. And again, making sure he just can't cross his face and get in the run alley. Kevin sends him up the field. He seals him just enough. Here comes Caden on a nice tight pull track, staying as tight as he can to the lineman inside of him right there. He wraps around, and he does a really nice job of stepping into contact with good hat placement right there. And again, the key to blocking, keep my body between the defender and where the ball is going to allow that thing to spring. Now on the backside, we're going to see Gates and Cam just seal the backside off right here with Levine as well and just create this wall, kind of like we saw in the kickoff return, to make all this stuff go the long way around, deny any kind of cross face of void, and then along with the kickoff and down blocks, have a good seal to go. So you see right there, Gates working back, Cam stepping down to make sure he occupies the space left by Zeitler there. He helps Gates establish the block, and then Cam's eyes are back here for the next thing coming around. He peels off, and if he needed the help right there, he could. And you see Levine right there work up to Phillips on the second level to seal him off. And we're really just leaving these guys to run around away from where the ball's going. We can run away from them right there. Good shot right here of it all coming together. Down block, seal, kick out, seam. And then there's a run right there. And as you get to the second level, Evans up there on Joseph, the safety. It's really a nice job down the field to finish when blocking. And Alfred's got to go ahead and he's isolated up on the safety. Give him a chance to make a play, extend it. It's a good 14-yard run for us as a team. Again, one shot of it kind of being ran clean without the lines all around the screen just to see it one more time. And again, it's the arc right here. All right, it's these two for these two right here. You got the pull to kick out Myles. You got the wraparound for the Mike backer. You got the back block. You're going to step, seal, and hinge. And then you're going to take out Phillips. We're going to leave these two right here to take the long way home and run around. And then Alfred owns the safety up top by himself.
Coach, we appreciate a couple minutes. We appreciate the education. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and best of luck next week against the Ravens.
Appreciate it, Bob. Merry Christmas, man.